All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a piece of tech that is, well, pretty much everywhere. It's that magic that makes it feel like our phones and digital assistants can practically read our minds. So let's dive right in and figure out what's really going on. I mean, you know that feeling, right? You start typing a message or you're searching for something online, maybe you just ask a question out loud, and the response you get back is so perfect, so fast, it's almost a little spooky.
Like, think about when it finishes your sentences for you. You see it every time you type an email or a text. That little grayed out suggestion just pops up, knowing exactly what you were going to say.
Or how about when you're finding that exact web page you need? You can type a whole jumbled mess of words into a search bar, and somehow it doesn't just look for keywords. No, it seems to understand what you mean, your intent, and boom, there's the answer.
And of course, there's the big one, answering your questions. You've got voice assistants and chatbots that can hold a surprisingly normal conversation. So what's the deal? What is this invisible thread that connects all of these things?
Well, that invisible magic all around us, it actually has a name. And it happens to be one of the most important, fastest-moving fields in all of artificial intelligence today.
It's called natural language processing, or just NLP for short. And really, at its core, it's all about one thing: teaching machines how to read, understand, and even generate human language. Think of it like a bridge between the way we talk and the way computers think. And believe me, we desperately need that bridge. Because our language versus theirs, well, they're worlds apart. And this is the fundamental challenge that NLP has to solve.
I mean, just look at the difference here. Human language, it's organic, it's evolved, it's kind of messy and ambiguous, right? It's fuzzy. We rely so much on common sense and context. But computer language, totally different. It's designed to be precise, logical, and it follows super strict rules. You can't just tell a computer, hey, it's a bit chilly in here, and expect it to know you mean turn up the thermostat. It just doesn't work that way.
So the big question is, how do you teach machines to understand our messy language? How does NLP bridge that gap? Well, it uses this really clever two-part process. You can think of it like a pipeline.
Okay, so part one is called natural language understanding, or NLU. This is where the machine takes our words, all our fuzzy, ambiguous language, and turns it all into meaningful numbers. These are called vectors. And this is where it gets really cool, because these numbers aren't just random codes, they're mathematical representations of meaning itself. You can actually do math with them. So you can literally take the number vector for king, subtract the vector for man, then add the vector for woman, and what you get is a number that's incredibly close to the vector for queen. It's math, but for meaning. It's wild.
Then comes part two, natural language generation, or NLG. Once the machine has understood what you said in that mathematical form, it has to respond. So it basically just reverses the process. It takes those numbers, its conclusion, and turns them back into words, back into human language. That's how you get that text reply from your smart assistant, or that suggested sentence in your email.
So you take this two-step process, understanding and then generating, and you end up with a world that basically runs on words. It has created this absolutely sprawling ecosystem of applications that we are using pretty much every single day. And I mean, this ecosystem is huge. We're talking about everything, from the spam filters that protect your email and the grammar checkers that fix your writing, all the way to automated news articles and, yeah, those customer service chatbots you talk to online. It is literally everywhere.
And the scale of all this, it can be absolutely staggering. Just to put it into perspective for you, one estimate found that a full 20%, 1/5, of all the tweets about the 2016 US presidential election were actually written by chatbots. So yeah, this stuff isn't just a fun little convenience, it's operating at a massive society-wide scale. Which of course brings us to a really critical point. This is the genie in the machine. Because like any powerful tool, NLP is a double-edged sword. When you teach your computer how to talk, it's a bit like letting a genie out of a bottle. It comes with incredible promise, but also some serious peril. On the one hand, the potential for good here is just enormous. Think about the pandemic, for example. Chatbots served millions of people, providing critical COVID-19 information, helping with things like onboarding for new jobs, and getting benefits info to people who really needed it. But there's always a but, right? On the other hand, that exact same technology can be used for much more troubling things. Authoritarian governments are using NLP to co-opt our natural desire to connect with each other, making it easier to track and control what we say and do.
And this leads to what one of our sources calls the Aladdin's 3 wishes trap. We have to be so careful about what we ask these systems to do, because they'll do it. They'll follow our instructions literally, without any of our human nuance, and that can set off a chain reaction of unintended and sometimes really damaging consequences.
And that really leaves us with one last big question. Because when you think about it, this technology is like a mirror. It just reflects our own instructions right back at us. So, as we get better and better at teaching machines our language, we really have to stop and ask ourselves, what are we wishing for?